Good morning. Good morning. Y'all know what it is, man. I'm your host, Terrence Pitts, aka, you know what it is, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio. It's going down today, man. I got a familiar face for me, a new face for y'all. I got one of my very own, them Bowie State Bulldog cornerbacks. What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's up? How you feeling today, man?
I'm good, man. His name. I always people used to tell me I got it wrong. I used to be like, "Hey, Udi." They like it's Odie. So I said, "Oh." How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Just blessed to be here.
Hey,
Honestly.
Odie, if you can you pronounce it? I don't want to mess it up. If you can, give the correct pronunciation of your first and last name, man.
All right, my first and last name is Odion Okojie. That's really how you really. It's not really too hard once you hear it. You be like,
Yeah,
okay, nah, I could have definitely got that. But yeah, it's Odion.
right.
Yeah.
No, I got it. Odion Okojie.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
I was butchering Udi up. I'm like, man, I don't even want to try to get him right.
Nah, I understand. They always have problem with that. They always have problem with that.
How you been feeling, man, since the season ended?
It's been like, but it's been a little bittersweet. This being my last year and things like that. It's been bittersweet. I've been missing ball a lot. Just reminiscing, thinking back on everything that just not even just college, collegiate wise, just from when I started to now, just thinking about everything. Just like I said, it's been bittersweet, but been doing pretty good. You know.
Understood, man. Before we get started, we're gonna go ahead and break you off with some icebreakers, right?
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite food? I know you did this with Push,
Yeah.
right? But the masses may not have heard it. But
Okay.
if you can, what's your favorite food?
All right, so if we just doing regular, American dishes, gotta
Nah,
go.
nah, no,
Oh, we just doing
nah.
everything. Just in
Yeah, do
general.
you? Yeah, do
Oh,
you? What's your
okay, yeah.
favorite food?
Oh no, my favorite food is jollof rice. It's an African dish. It's primarily rice. You can add your chicken on there. You can add whatever you want. Whatever protein you want on there. So, just the rice by itself alone
Yeah.
it does wonders. So you can't really mess that up. But yeah, that's my favorite meal.
All right. And secondly, what is your favorite place to visit or a dream destination?
So I really haven't been out the state too much, if like besides football, So it's really like I really didn't get a chance to really visit too many places. But a dream place of mine would definitely be Italy. Like
Mm,
Italy is just it's too sweet, man. You can't. Italy has everything, new people, different culture, different traditions, and that's one of the places I definitely want to visit if I ever get the chance to.
okay, okay. Italy it is. Okay. That's the first. I never thought of it, right?
Yeah.
That's dope. All right. Lastly, favorite NFL team, if you have one, and a player. Well, favorite NFL team if you have one. Let's
Mhm.
leave it at that.
Okay, favorite ever NFL team, simple, Philadelphia Eagles. And before anybody starts, saying bandwagon, oh, they want, I've been a fan since Deshaun Jackson was on the team since Michael Vick first played on the team. I've been a fan since then. So, you know, so I get nobody could really say nothing.
And I appreciate you, man, because you allow me to kick off the circuit where I get to talk to the players, right? I don't really, delve or try to interrupt you guys during the season.
Right.
But now that it's out of season, this year I want to do something new. I want to go back and I want to talk to the players after the season. So, I'm
Right.
definitely going to reach out to some more players from Bowie State. I'm definitely reaching out to some players from Oregon State. Definitely got to get Jaden right
Yeah.
here. Jaden is going to come on. I'm guaranteeing that. He better be.
Yeah. So,
The silent assassin. But if
no.
you can, man, if you can, just take us through the journey um, of Bowie State, right? Take us where it started for you at Meade High School, where the love of football developed for you.
Um, so you love football. I'm a African descent, so football wasn't really a big thing in my household growing up. It was mainly just soccer and any other sport that wasn't as dangerous as football. But growing up, football, the love just really started my freshman year of high school. I would just go to the field with my some of my teammates, my friends, and just going at it. On the field, just that grind. It just made me love football. Just being around the people that I loved and people that love what I love, which was football at the time. It just
Right.
brought more out of me. So from high school up until now, my love for football has just been growing like rapidly. It just kept on getting stronger and stronger. But when I got to Bowie, it definitely skyrocketed. Being around the people I am, being with the coaches I was with, they literally like uplifted that love for football, and it just took off from there. I just love it even more than I did when I first started. Honestly.
Absolutely. If you can, before we get into Bowie State, right, take us through, when you talk about, the family soccer being one of the major sports, what was it that attracted you to football, right? What was it, or was there a player that you saw that, what, I got that in me, that I can resemble my play after? Who would that be? Who was that?
Like I said, Deshaun Jackson. Like I'm,
DJ.
I'm I'm like one day, me and my brother, I have a twin brother. Me and my brother, we were just sitting, I think
Whoa. Did you say you
yeah,
got a twin?
yeah, I got a twin brother. I know a lot
Didn't
of
know
people don't.
that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that about me. Yeah, but I do,
Wow.
brother. Yeah,
That's a fun
yeah,
fact. That's a
yeah,
fun fact
definitely,
nobody knows.
definitely. So me and my twin, we just, I think it was after a practice, a soccer practice or whatever. It was definitely after a soccer practice because it was on Sunday. Football comes on Sundays. We're
Yeah.
just sitting down. We're going through just going through the channels on the TV. We just see the Eagles, and I think they were playing the Redskins that day. When they were
Okay.
called the Redskins,
Right.
and I see Deshaun Jackson just terrorizing. Like I see a number 10. I didn't know who he was at first. I see a number 10 just terrorizing the defense, like just terrorizing the opposing team, and we're just looking at this like, dang, is this how this sport is? Like we could really be looking like that on TV like that? Like, we just talking to each other like, okay, we gotta
Wow.
find a way. We gotta find a way to get our foot into the door with this sport. And we started off with flag football. Cause like I
Okay.
said, my parents were African descent. They were heavy on like, protection and not getting hurt, injuries and stuff like that. And they already knew a little bit about football. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like they already knew the downside of it. They didn't know the upside of it. Like, yeah, you could go to school for free. I mean, you could do that with any sport, but you could
Right,
go to
right,
school
right.
for free. We could end up playing on TV one day, going to the NFL, this, that, and the fourth. You know. So with that being said, like us seeing that game, us seeing Deshaun Jackson do what he does best, it really just it's just from there it was just like me and my twin brother like we got to get into the sport. Starting off with flag football, we loved flag football. Then we moved on to the contact football. So from there it's just uphill from there.
So talk about, watching Deshaun, did you know, even though you wasn't familiar, did you say, you know what, I want to be like Deshaun, or I just want to be like that,
Yeah,
playing that sport? So you started off wanting to, score touchdowns and be on
yeah.
offense?
I started off playing running back. Like
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
so how'd you migrate? How'd you migrate to defensive back?
So I'm not because I want to keep it completely honest.
Okay.
The way I see guys get hit, like I look, and then my mom told me that too. Like my brother didn't really listen. My brother really did. He played offense, so he didn't really listen. My mom said, "If you're gonna play this sport, I would rather you
Mhm.
do the hit and do the causing of whatever than for it to happen for you." So when she said that, I was like, "Hey, I'm about to go play defense." I switched to defense when I got into high school. You know,
Okay.
I knew it was gonna start getting real in high school. So I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna be one of them guys getting laid out doing all this. I'd rather do the laying out. Like I'd rather do the hitting. So that's what
Yeah.
made me migrate to defense because I wanted to hit. I liked hitting. So it was a no brainer for me.
Well, switching that, was there a player, college or pros, that played defense that you said, you know what, I like their aggression, I like the way they approach the game, if anything, I can take this, and that from them.
It was a couple of guys, but the main guy for me was Brent Grimes. I don't know if a lot of people heard
Mm.
about, but that you, hey,
He,
if you
he
if
was
you was really,
underrated. He was
yeah,
underrated.
if you was really watching football and
Yeah.
really locked in, you know Brent Grimes. You know Brent Grimes, small guy, like small guy in stature, like, but you would if it was if football was just how they had it, sports, just
Right.
radio talk, you wouldn't think he was a small guy. You would think this 6'5", 220 cornerback. You would think he's but he's a small guy in stature, and he was just making just endless plays back and forth on like I seen this one game where Calvin Johnson went up and caught the pick with one hand. I said, oh yeah, this guy's real. Regardless of how he looks on the field, regardless of how people try to underrate him, I know he got that dog in him, and that's basically how I modeled my game. Like, a little undersized, little, might be, smaller than most corners, but I know I have that dog in me, and I know when it's come game time, you're gonna see that dog. It's gonna be a different type of guy,
I look. Ti said it best. 5'9" with the soul of a
Yeah, hey,
6'4".
but hey, for real though, you can't beat it. And that's how Brent Grimes. That's what I really seen from Brent Grimes when he was playing. Like, he just looked like he wasn't 5'9". Like, the guy looked like he was 6'4", going up there running with 6'4" taller receiver, way taller receivers than him. So yeah, he just really brought that cornerback love for me.
Absolutely. And in the Instagram chat, we got Coach Rod White in the building. Said it's a
What's up,
DC
coach?
guy. Shout out to Coach Rod White. So let's go ahead and transition to Bowie State, right? Take us through what landed you at Bowie, and take us through what it meant for you to attend an HBCU.
Man, coming into Bowie, I came in transferred over from Wesley College. So I walked on that Bowie. Attending the HBCU, especially one closer to home, it really meant a lot for me because I always, Wesley being in Delaware, it was a little too far, too out the way a little bit. So my parents, my people weren't able to come to as much games as possible, weren't able to see me as much. So me coming to Bowie, having that opportunity to play on the team at Bowie in 2021 when I first started, it really meant a lot to me because, like I said, I was able to be closer to home, closer to my family, my mom, my dad, being able to come to a game 25 minutes away when we're playing at home or whatever the case may be. It meant a lot to me. And then being at an HBCU, I've had my dealings with the PWI. It was, don't get me wrong, it was good, but now that I've been what I've heard about HBCUs before I came to Bowie, man, I needed that experience, with the culture, with the tradition of the HBCU, and especially Bowie State winning tradition, and then being the first HBCU in Maryland, it was a no brainer. I had to come to Bowie, had to make my way to Bowie just to see what it's about.
And when
So,
you talk
you know,
about the culture and the things that you learn, again, one of the reasons why the highlight of the show, and why Puts and Push was started, and what gave me the vision, and what gave me what birthed it in me, was the fact that, I attended Bowie State back in 2000. And before attending Bowie State, I knew nothing about an HBCU,
right,
right? So it's that misnomer that I think that if we were able to get the information out there in front, and the narrative coming from the inside out instead of the outside in, I think that it would shine a
yeah,
different, a brighter, and a more enlightening light on HBCUs as a whole. And when you talk about Bowie State, man, some of my best moments came from there, even though I didn't finish all 4 years. Those friendships lasted longer than some after Bowie State. And
yeah,
when you talk about the culture, it's a family environment.
definitely, definitely.
When you talk about the football aspect of it, and you talk about the CIAA, if you can just share, like Coach K Jack, like that's my guy,
Yeah.
through and through. Only met him 3 years ago, but I feel like I've been knowing him longer than that. If you can you just share what Coach K Jack meant to you and to the program, as he means to the program?
Man, to me, Coach Kajak meant a lot to me, just giving me that opportunity to continue to be on the team because, you know, like, I just that opportunity, man. Like Coach Kajak is he definitely has a place in my heart. Just being a guy, the stand up guy he is, being there for us, always laying it on the line for us, and it really means a lot to me, because that's somebody I could look up to. That's what you always want in life is somebody that can teach you the right way to go, teach you where not to go, and that's
Right.
where I look at Coach Kajak as a role model, as a leader, and the fact that he accepted the role as head coach, and just like a split second like that, and he embraced it, it really exemplified his character as a stand up guy, a trustworthy leader as well. So, you know,
Absolutely.
yeah, and then
It,
and Bowie State as well. So, him just accepting that role has just meant a lot.
I watched you, through all the ups and downs, man. I've watched you keep an even kill attitude, even when the moments may not have been in your favor. And, despite the obstacles that you had to go through and the adversity that you may have to go through, like you still kept it even kill. Like talk about the way that you were able to mentally just lock in and despite whatever was happening around you to keep that singularly focused aspect of it all.
Man, I can't even say I did it. Like I'm gonna be completely honest. It wasn't me. To be completely honest, it was God.
Yeah.
It was my Lord and Savior. Like literally was giving me that strength you know, to keep myself like locked in and focus on the task at hand. Like I was able to put my trust in God. Like it's really true when you put your trust in God and you really just like give all the burdens and troubles to God, you really have nothing to worry about because there's a bigger and higher up that's handling your situation. Like who else can possibly handle any situation but God? So with that, it wasn't really my mental. It was more just trusting in God. Like I said, I
Yeah.
started off saying it wasn't me. Like it literally was not me. I just trusted in God, had faith, throughout everything that was going on throughout the season, everything that's been going on the past couple years. I just have faith, trusted in God, knowing that, the storm that I am going through is every storm, it's gonna be sunshine at the end of the storm. Like it can't rain forever, So just
Yeah.
knowing that it's going to be something good coming out of this at some point, and trusting in that, and it worked out in my favor, and it always will by just trusting in God.
Absolutely. Now, I've watched, for a couple of years now, right? And I've noticed that you can play either the press or you can play the drop the two, the cover, right? But I think I like it more. I think it's more interesting when you press
Mm-hmm.
because being able to like see your facial expression, hear the conversation between you and the receiver, like
Yeah.
it's entertaining. It's must see TV. Talk about your style of play and what you bring and what part of that do you like most? You like the press or you like share your thoughts because I can see in your face when
Mm-hmm.
you be up impressed and just hear
Yeah.
that conversation. And it was hilarious, especially against Lincoln.
So like my play style I like pressing more definitely because I could get hands on and you like I know me being that close to you like it gets a little harder for the receivers and the type of press guy I am I will always get hands on like regardless what type of move you give me where you at if you're lined up on the ball off the ball whatever the case may be and press has always been a game of mine because like I said I have a twin brother me and him going at it 24/7 like at the field always pressed them so always pressed them so I got used to that and I got him used to always being pressed you get what I'm saying so having that brother like that you could hit the field with 24/7 it built that style of play up for me like I always got to be in his face because me and my brother was just going back and forth. Every time we go to the field, we go back and forth. So always made me. I gotta be in these receivers' faces because I'm gonna talk my talk. Like I'm gonna always talk my talk. Like regardless who you are, where you came from, I'm gonna always talk my talk. So that style of play really it just rooted from just being around my brother, playing with my brother. You know, and I really just love pressing. Like if it was up to me, I would want to press like all game. But it gets physically tiring at times. And not everybody could. You can't
Right.
run for a full game pressing 24/7.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
Right.
I love the press game, man. It shows like it shows your technique. Your feet, your hands, your eyes, they got to be in the right place in order for your press to be successful. You can't just have wandering eyes or your feet are sloppy. Then you're getting beat in press. You're getting beat off the line, whatever the case may be. So yeah, you gotta love press, man. You can't beat it. You can press somebody off the line, they can't get off the line, or give them a little free release, but then they think you're not about to press them. Boom, hands on. It's just so many things you could do. The same way the receivers could do so many things that we don't know is coming. Same way we could do so many things that they don't know is coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the press, this year you led them pass breakups, right? Not only did you do it from the defensive back perspective, also on special teams, specifically in punt. I've watched a couple of games where you either almost made the punt block, and then there were games like Lincoln where you did make the punt block, and it was a return for a touchdown. Talk about the mindset when you're on special teams, that you carry the same mindset as if you were on defense.
Man, I'm gonna be completely honest. Coach Doug really. I mean, all the coaches really got me, really zoned in on taking the special teams thing serious. It was where I started at in 22. That was my opportunity right there. I had to,
Yeah,
put all my eggs into one basket. So that was my basket right there. Put
yeah,
all my eggs into that. But knowing that my coach Doug had told me, all the coaches told me as well, knowing that you could potentially get an opportunity to go to the league off of special teams, it gets you more zoned in. And then just that being a lover of football, just going down there, just wanting to make tackles, just it made me love special teams. Like I could in high school, I didn't love special teams as much, and I didn't
yeah,
realize how important special teams was. Little
yeah,
young kid, you just wanted to play offense or defense, special or kick
yeah,
return. If it wasn't kick return or punt return, I don't want to be on special teams. But my coach is telling me, yeah, man, special teams is important. It's
yeah,
important in the next level. It's very important, and that really just made me like I could really make a living potentially off of just running down the field, making a tackle, or making a punt block or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that really made me feel like, okay, yeah, I gotta take this thing serious. And adds on to other stats as well. Like you get a tackle on special teams and you get a tackle on defense. It's not two different stats. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
yeah.
the same thing. You're good. It's gonna be listed as one tackle. It's just going to be listed as no matter where it came from. So special teams is a big part. It's a big role that people don't understand. And you being a special teams or being a guy on special teams, you're looked at as somebody that, when we need a play made, we're going to be looking at you, So it's a big role. It's as important as being a quarterback or being a safety on the
Absolutely.
defense. So yeah, that's what really made me really want to zone in on that special teams thing.
And shout out to Coach Ocho, man, and all the
Yeah.
work that he does with Bowie State and the wide receivers and on the admin side of Bowie State. In regards to the special teams, you're correct, man, because I have two cousins that played. One played in the NFL. He played with the Falcons and Dolphins in Jacksonville, in Lafayette Pitts, and he played defense, but primarily special teams. But I still have another cousin, CJ Goodwin. Shout out to CJ. He plays for the Dallas Cowboys, and he has been playing special teams consistently now for the last, I'll say, 5 or 6 years, and he has done it at a high level. And when we talk about when we look at special teams in past, we always used to be like, oh, that's what we want to throw everybody out there who
Yeah.
don't get no
Yeah.
playing time until when I hear him talk about it, and when I see that he accepts that opportunity, regardless if it doesn't mean that he's not that person on the
Right.
field all the time. Like CJ loves it,
Mhm.
and to see that in him, and to see that he takes that just as serious as if he was a starting defensive back, made me realize, okay, it's a lot of fruit into doing that role. So, shout out to again my cousin CJ Goodwin and the Dallas Cowboys for all that he has done
Right.
in the league as well. So what I wanted to do was one other question I wanted to ask you, man. HBCU Legacy Bowl. HBCU Legacy Bowl gives players in the HBCU, SWAC, SEAC, MEAC, CIAA, etc. the opportunity that they may not get as afforded like the PWIs, right? Where you're able to go into your own NFL combat in front of all 32 teams, scouts, and coaches, and where you're able to go and have this all-star game in New Orleans, Louisiana, that is solely focused on HBCU players. Talk about that opportunity it provides and the desire and what that would mean for you if you were able to get that opportunity.
Yeah, man, that opportunity is like it's something that just came up. You know, it's a brand new, program in a way, like for HBCU players, and I think it's a great opportunity for every HBCU player, every HBCU school. Like, it's a great opportunity. Like, it just solely focuses on HBCU players. You know, like the past few years, HBCU players, they barely been getting to the league, barely been getting opportunities because, let's be honest, they look down on HBCU. They don't look at it as like, you know, one of those Power Five schools because there's no HBCU schools that are a part of Power Five. So, it
Yeah.
is definitely frowned upon and looked down on. Like, just maybe not too many good athletes come from HBCUs. So many things that have been said about HBCUs that honestly not even true at all or close to even being true.
Yeah.
And that opportunity for me, it will mean a lot. To if I'm being completely honest, I
Absolutely.
the past few years been up and down for me. With me losing my father last year,
Mm.
I was like very close, very very close to giving up on this football thing. Even though the love for football was stronger than ever at the time. Not saying it's not right now, but stronger than ever at the time. During the season, my dad was in the hospital. He had his coma. He was in a coma.
Mm.
So, during the whole season, we were dealing with that, back and forth, going to see him in the hospital, things like that. And he finally ended up going over, and he passed away in December of last year. So, that had me like I was devastated, man. Like devastated, man. Like I'm going into my senior year of high school. I mean, college, my collegiate football. Thinking, I'm gonna have my family. That my dad eventually is gonna, heal up. He's gonna get right by the season. I'm thinking, yeah, I got time. He got time. Like,
Mm.
and then when it happened, I was devastated. But the one thing I do remember my dad telling me is like my opportunities. They could come surplus or they could come like little by little. And when he told me when they come little by little, you have to take advantage of your opportunity. That's the whole purpose of him even bringing us to the States. Like I was born in Nigeria, Africa, in Lagos, Nigeria, and him moving us to the States, his whole purpose was opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. So him instilling that in us at an early age, I just know like my opportunity whenever I do get them or whenever it is in reach, I need to grab it. I need to get a hold of it. And having the opportunity to potentially play in the HBC Legacy Bowl will not only, fulfill my dream, but as well as
Mm.
my dad's dream of me, grasping my opportunity, just wanted to do it for him. Like I dedicated my season to my dad this season to my dad, wanted to finish out. Like I said, I wanted to quit. I'm not gonna lie. I was devastated. I was hurt
Yeah.
about the loss, wanted to quit, but I just had to remember everything my father had told me growing up. Like what I started, I can't quit. I have to
Yeah.
take advantage of my opportunity, and this is my opportunity. Not even thinking about the Legacy Bowl in March, I'm thinking about spring ball. This is my final opportunity. Come the
Yeah.
season, this is my final opportunity. Ran into some, some hoops during the season before the season started, but had to still take advantage of the 7 opportunities I had,
Yeah.
after that. So, it's just really it will be a great opportunity to play in the HBC Legacy Bowl. Just put myself out there, getting a bigger platform to really put myself out there.
Absolutely. And prayers out to you and your family, man.
Appreciate that.
Couldn't even imagine, um, the weight that plays and that puts on you, especially when it's someone as close to you as a parent. Definitely kudos to you for your fortitude and your strength, and God's grace um, and strength as well for covering, protecting, and pushing you through. Even when there's moments like that, I understand completely where it's what when it's one of the people closest to you, it depletes you.
Yeah.
It takes a lot out of you. So kudos to you, and I definitely hope you do get that opportunity to continue to expand your platform, man. I appreciate you over the years, as I feel like, I've always felt like I've been a part of the team forever. Just being around you guys, enjoying it, the environment, the camaraderie with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And, I appreciate you for joining me on today, man, sharing your
I
story. Thank you
appreciate you
for
for
being
having me.
vulnerable. So you already know what it is, man. It's your host, Pitts, Terrence Pitts, aka you know what to do. Pitts Sports Zone, Pitts and Push Sports Talk
Appreciate
Radio,
that, man.
Bowie TV, coming to you live on Comcast, Channel 77, Verizon, Channel 11. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Staples, who is the sponsor for Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, for all your print label needs, marketing, banners, etc. Shop Staples, you know what it is. Again, it's a Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday as I'm going to enjoy, and hopefully, my Steelers get that W today against them Browns. But enjoy, and again, be safe.
Sir, you have a good one, man.
You too, man.